Does your marketing budget always feel just a little too small?
Yes. And if it always seems like you're getting blindsided by big projects and other one-time costs you didn't plan for, like website redesigns, custom tools, or that trade show you forgot to budget, this episode is your warning light.
Today, we'll help you think bigger, budget smarter, and get more ROI from every marketing dollar.
Stick around for tips to help you plan ahead, avoid budget busters, and build smarter strategies that actually drive growth.
Welcome to Trevera's AI Deep Dive podcast, hosted by Chip and Nova, our AI co-hosts. Together, they transform top marketing insights from our blogs, articles, and events into actionable strategies you can use. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
Welcome along to the Deep Dive. I'm Chip.
And I'm Nova.
And this is where we jump into interesting source material, pull out the key insights you need.
Today we're diving into part 3 of strategic marketing budgeting. It's a great piece on the Trevera blog by our own Senior VP of Business Development, Jamie Reinhart.
Jamie's article is just packed with practical wisdom, but our mission for this deep dive is pretty laser-focused. We're extracting the absolute most important nuggets from his piece. We want to shine a light on those big, potentially budget-breaking, one-time expenses you absolutely have to plan for, and then tackle that really fundamental strategic fork in the road. Does it make more sense to build in-house or partner with an agency?
Exactly. So we'll be covering the first 2 main points Jamie lays out in his article. We'll give you the essential details and, importantly, the why behind them. The goal is to help you think smarter, more proactively about your marketing investment.
Sounds like a solid plan, Nova. Let's not waste any time. Jump right into those costs that can sneak up on you if you're not looking.
Absolutely, Chip. So Jamie makes this really critical distinction right at the start. We all tend to focus on the recurring monthly costs, right? The ad spend, software fees, maybe a small retainer. Those are the engine, like you said, for sure. But the investments that can truly derail things or force really tough compromises, those are the significant one-time expenditures you weren't prepared for.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. It's like knowing your monthly rent, but completely forgetting you'll eventually need a new roof, right? And the first big example Jamie highlights, and it's something almost every business website faces sooner or later, is a full website redesign or overhaul.
Your website is never truly done, is it? As your business evolves or expands, or just as web design trends and tech change, that initial build won't last forever. Jamie really emphasizes that needing an update or maybe even a complete refresh is just a fact of life online.
And the price tag for that. Well, Jamie gives a range that really underscores how much the scope can vary. He says, $5,000 on the low end? Maybe for a more cosmetic refresh or a template update, stretching all the way up to $40,000 or even more.
40,000 plus. Yeah. For a complete custom build or maybe a complex platform migration, that range tells you everything, doesn't it, Chip? Are you just, updating the look and feel? Or are you tearing everything down, rebuilding the infrastructure, migrating tons of content, maybe changing the entire CMS? The more fundamental the change, the higher the cost climbs.
Right. And here's a little nugget from Jamie that's so easy for businesses to overlook when they get excited about a shiny new site. The costs don't just stop at the design and build phase.
Oh, absolutely not.
He specifically calls out those associated costs you absolutely must budget for, like the pain of migrating from the old site, rigorous testing to make sure everything actually works, and the actual technical cost and effort of the launch itself.
Precisely. You can build the most beautiful functional site in the world, but if you haven't budgeted for those final critical steps, you're going to hit unexpected hurdles right when you should be, popping the champagne.
Okay, so beyond a full website redo, Jamie also points out that adding new functionality to an existing site is another potentially significant one-time cost.
Yeah, this covers those enhancements that add completely new capabilities, things like building out a full e-commerce store if you currently just have a brochure site.
Right.
Or maybe adding a custom ROI calculator for your prospects to interact with, or even creating a secure client portal for better service.
These can be total game changers for user experience or even opening up new revenue streams. Jamie puts the cost range for these kinds of additions at $3,000 up to $15,000 or maybe higher?
3 to 15K plus, yeah. And what's really key here, Chip, is Jamie's note that even now, in the age of plugins and SaaS solutions, adding genuinely new integrated functionality is rarely just clicking a button.
Good point.
It almost always requires some development work, customization to fit your specific business processes, your branding, and careful integration with your existing systems.
Yeah, like You can download an e-commerce plugin maybe, but getting it to talk smoothly to your inventory system and your shipping provider
Yeah.
and your CRM,
Exactly.
that's where the real work and often the real cost comes in. It's definitely not always simple plug and play for truly custom needs.
Right. And Jamie kind of wraps up this section on one-time costs by just reminding us there are other big investments that fall into this bucket too.
Things like a major company rebranding effort. That's a big one.
Huge. Or deciding to have a really significant presence exhibiting at key industry trade shows.
Yeah, trade shows can add up fast.
Or investing in professional video production to really elevate your content strategy.
Okay.
These aren't things you do every month, obviously, but when you do them, they require a substantial financial outlay. The crucial takeaway from Jamie here, Chip, is that while these investments are occasional, they are definitely impactful. And the only way to incorporate them without causing total budget chaos is to, well, identify them early, estimate their cost, and budget for them proactively. It needs to be part of your strategic planning.
Planning ahead. It means you can make those investments when they're strategically right for the business.
Yeah.
Without scrambling for funds later or, worse, cutting corners because you were completely surprised by the need.
Yeah.
It's about turning those potential nasty surprises into planned opportunities for growth.
Exactly. And speaking of big strategic decisions that have, massive budget implications, Jamie pivots next to address a really fundamental question businesses face as they try to scale up their marketing efforts.
The classic dilemma. Agency versus in-house. Do you build that dedicated full-time internal marketing team from the ground up? Or do you bring in an external partner, like an agency, to handle things?
It's a question with some serious financial weight behind it, and Jamie provides a really clear breakdown of the costs involved in each path. Let's maybe start with the in-house team cost structure.
Great. Let's unpack this one. Jamie highlights the reality of modern digital marketing. I mean, it requires such a diverse skill set, doesn't it? You typically need specialists in, SEO, content creation, graphic design, social media management, email marketing, paid advertising. Gosh, the list goes on.
It does. And to cover those essential areas with truly dedicated expertise, Jamie estimates you're realistically looking at needing a team of around, say, 6 to 7 specialists.
6 or 7 marketing pros. Wow, that's a substantial team.
Yeah.
And their salaries alone, they add up incredibly quickly. Jamie puts the typical annual salary cost for that kind of team in a pretty striking range. $360,000 up to $600,000 or even more per year.
And what's absolutely critical to absorb here, Chip, as Jamie points out, that massive figure, that's purely salary.
Just salaries, wow.
Yeah. It doesn't include any employee benefits, health insurance, retirement plans, paid time off, which can easily add another, 20-30% on top.
Right. And then you layer on the cost of all the necessary marketing software tools, your CRM, the email platform, analytics tools, project management software, ad platform.
Don't forget office space.
Office space, equipment, training. Gosh, that $500,000 salary figure is really just the starting point, isn't it?
It really is. It can quickly become a 7-figure annual investment when you account for everything needed to actually support that team effectively. It's a huge fixed cost commitment.
Okay, now let's contrast that significant investment with Jamie's perspective on the agency model.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting from a budget perspective. Jamie explains that with an agency, you gain access to that same breadth of specialized skill sets. You get the SEO strategist, the copywriter, the paid media expert.
All those specialists we just listed.
Exactly. But you're leveraging the agency's existing team, their established infrastructure, and their collective experience working across multiple clients.
The financial structure is completely different, right? Jamie gives a common monthly retainer range for agencies, somewhere between $4,000 and $10,000 per month.
$4,000 to $10,000 a month. Okay, let's just pause on that for a second, Chip. You're potentially looking at $30,000 to $50,000 plus per month just in salaries for that in-house team versus maybe $4,000 to $10,000 total per month for access to a whole team of specialists via an agency.
Yeah, that difference it's dramatic and really fundamental to the budget decision.
It is. And Jamie clarifies that this retainer fee typically covers the strategy development, the execution across those different marketing channels, and the reporting. All delivered by that cross-disciplinary team the agency already has assembled, trained, and manages.
So you're not just paying for one person's time or skill set. You're buying into a pool of specialized talent and, importantly, established processes.
Precisely. And a huge strategic advantage Jamie highlights is flexibility.
Yes.
With an agency, you can often scale your engagement up for major initiatives, like a big product launch or maybe a peak sales season. And then potentially you can scale back during slower periods, only paying for the level of service you actually need at that specific time.
That contrasts really sharply with the fixed high costs of those full-time salaries, which, well, they don't fluctuate based on your immediate project needs, do they?
Not at all.
Jamie runs through several key points on why it works for the agency model, and they really hit home when you think about the financial and, frankly, the operational overhead of building in-house.
Like, for starters, avoiding the massive headaches and significant costs tied up in hiring and training those 6 or 7 specialists.
Oh, yeah. Finding them, vetting them.
Onboarding, retaining high-level talent, that's a huge undertaking in itself, separate from the marketing work.
Plus, agencies are kind of inherently driven to stay right on top of the latest digital tools and trends, aren't they?
They have to be. They invest in the best-in-class software. They're constantly learning new techniques because they serve multiple clients. You get access to that cutting edge without having to research, purchase, and implement every single thing yourself.
Good point. And critically, agencies are built around delivering measurable results for their clients. I mean, their reputation depends on it.
It does.
So this often means they have really refined processes for strategic execution and, crucially, transparent reporting on performance. You know where the money's going and what it's doing.
And this brings us back to the core financial benefit Jamie emphasizes. With an agency, you're paying for the time and the specific skills you actually need and use at that moment,
Right.
rather than potentially paying a full-time salary for someone whose deep expertise you might only require, say, intermittently through the year.
Right.
And this raises a really important point Jamie makes in concluding this comparison. If your business's budget just doesn't realistically support the substantial ongoing investment required for a truly effective, full-service in-house marketing team, opting for an agency may not only be a more financially viable option, it could actually deliver a better return on your investment and potentially faster results just because they already have that skilled team and those proven processes ready to go.
Wow. That comparison provides such a clear perspective on just the sheer scale of investment required for each path. We've really zeroed in on those potentially hidden one-time costs that demand foresight. And we've unpacked Jamie's really helpful financial breakdown of the agency versus in-house decision.
Yeah, it really highlights that a marketing budget is far more than just, a list of expenses. It's truly a strategic roadmap.
Absolutely. And when we come back after just a quick pause, we'll dive into Jamie's final thoughts on how you take all of this information and actually set a realistic marketing budget, one that's not just tracking spending, but is truly aligned with your business's specific growth goals. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Webster, Trivera's AI assistant, here to help your business thrive in the ever-evolving digital marketing landscape. Since 1996, Trivera has delivered digital marketing that drives measurable results, partnering with southeastern Wisconsin's strongest brands, blending creativity, technology, and strategy to help them grow. Now, we're leading the charge with powerful new AI solutions, branded podcast production, fully trained chatbots, predictive analytics, automated content generation, and optimization tools that become your digital dream team, engaging audiences, capturing leads, optimizing campaigns, and delivering 24/7 support. From SEO-optimized websites and ROI-focused campaigns to custom AI tools built for real business impact, Trivera is the partner you can trust to help you own what's next. Visit Trivera.com today to make the rest of 2025 your smartest, most successful yet. Trivera, where 3 decades of expertise meet AI innovation to deliver digital marketing that converts.
Welcome back to Trivera's AI Deep Dive. Now back to our conversation with Chip and Nova.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Before the break, Chip and I were exploring Jamie Reinhardt's insights from his blog post. We looked at those crucial one-time marketing costs and the pretty significant financial considerations around building an in-house team versus partnering with an agency.
Right. Now, let's shift our focus to the final section of Jamie's article. This is where he brings it all together under the heading, Strategic Budgeting Marketing That Grows With You. This is really where the planning meets the pavement, meets the execution.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie emphasizes that while industry benchmarks maybe allocating a certain percentage of revenue or overall budget to marketing, they can be helpful as a starting point, but you absolutely cannot follow them blindly.
Right.
The real power comes from adjusting those benchmarks based on your unique business goals and your current stage of growth. Like, are you aggressively pursuing market share right now, launching a new product line, or maybe optimizing purely for profitability? Your budget needs to reflect that specific priority.
It's all about aligning the spend with the actual strategic objective. Makes sense. Jimmy also provides some guidance on prioritizing where your budget actually goes, recommending a focus on those foundational essentials.
Yes, he specifically calls out core digital marketing areas, things like SEO, content marketing, and advertising. He suggests these typically need significant allocation because, well, they're the channels that consistently drive visibility, engage your target audience, and ultimately generate leads or sales.
And here's a really smart, kind of forward-thinking tip from Jamie that I think often gets overlooked. He advises explicitly allocating, say, 5% to 10% of your overall marketing budget, specifically for testing and innovation.
Oh, I love that inclusion. It's so important. The digital landscape is just constantly changing, isn't it?
Constantly.
Setting aside funds deliberately to experiment with new platforms or test different messaging, explore emerging technologies, maybe pilot new strategies. It isn't just a nice to have. It's really an investment in discovering future growth opportunities and staying ahead of the competition. It prevents your marketing from getting stale.
Yeah, it's essentially budgeting for discovery, isn't it? Keeping things fresh. And Jamie cleverly loops back here to our first point, stressing the importance of making sure your strategic budget always leaves room for those planned or even potentially emerging one-time investments we talked about earlier.
Right, like the website update or the new piece of functionality or that big video project. Because, as he reminds us, these aren't just line item expenses. They're often the projects that have the potential to truly move the needle for your business.
Yeah.
Whether it's improving user experience dramatically, opening up a completely new revenue channel, or launching a major brand initiative, they can be catalysts for significant progress.
Okay, so pulling all these different threads together, understanding the different types of costs, the huge scale difference between building in-house and partnering with an agency, and how to allocate strategically.
Yeah.
What's the sort of overarching message from Jamie about what a marketing budget should really be?
Well, Jamie's core message is pretty clear, I think. A strong marketing budget is much, much more than just a spreadsheet for tracking spending. It is a powerful strategic tool. When you build it thoughtfully, making sure every allocation aligns with your actual business objectives, it actively drives growth and ensures your marketing investment delivers the maximum possible impact.
That shift in perspective is so fundamental, isn't it? Moving from viewing marketing spend as just a necessary cost center to seeing it as a crucial growth-generating investment. And Jamie's final thought in this section really nails it. Regardless of whether you ultimately decide on an internal team or you partner with an agency or maybe even find some kind of hybrid model that works for you, the absolute most critical factor is ensuring that your marketing investment, wherever it happens to reside, is directly and tightly aligned with your overarching business objectives.
That alignment. Yeah, that's the secret sauce. That's what turns spending into real results.
And Nova, these kinds of insights, really digging into the true costs, comparing the strategic models, understanding how to align your marketing investment with your business goals. These are exactly the challenges we help businesses navigate every single day here at Trevera.
Absolutely. And our Jamie, whose expertise we've been so fortunate to deep dive into today, he's just one of the many experts on the Trevera team. Experts who work directly with clients to help them build informed marketing budgets and develop strategies that don't just, track expenses, but actively drive measurable growth.
So if you're wrestling with these kinds of decisions, maybe wondering if your current budget is truly strategic, or trying to plan for those big one-off investments, or deciding on the right team structure for you, the Trevera team really has the experience and the insights to help you make those smart choices.
Yeah, Jamie talks about unlocking the potential of your online presence through smart budgeting. If you feel like you're ready to take a concrete step towards enhancing your online presence and making sure your marketing investment is truly strategic, well, we can help. And you can easily take the first step. Just head over to the Trivera website, trivera.com, and fill out our contact form. When you do, you can receive a completely free website health report. It's a fantastic way to get an objective look at where your online presence currently stands. And start thinking about how a more strategic approach, informed by the kind of insights Jamie shares, can make a real difference for your business.
It provides a really valuable baseline for any future planning.
So let's leave you with this final thought, pulling directly from the heart of Jamie's message today. Jamie says a strong budget isn't just about tracking spending. It's a strategic tool that drives growth by aligning investment with objectives. So considering everything we've discussed in this series, from the industry benchmarks to the recurring costs and those potentially surprising one-time costs, and the fundamental choice between in-house and agency, does your current marketing budget truly reflect your highest growth priorities? Or is it maybe primarily just an accounting of expenses?
That's definitely a question worth pondering as you look at your own numbers. Thank you so much for joining us on this Trivera Deep Dive.
We're Chip and Nova, and we look forward to our next deep dive with you soon.
See you then.
Thanks for joining us on Trivera's AI Deep Dive with Chip and Nova. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find more and stay up to date with new episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, or find them on our website and our social media channels. And don't forget to visit us at Trivera.com to learn how we can help take your marketing to the next level. Ready to talk? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.